Hello, YouTube peers, and welcome to episode 25 of What Did You Miss? Last episode, the last video was this highlight here that we went over. So we're going to pick up on this. So we got like at least 2 weeks of highlights to go through, so this might be another long episode. So we had, it shows the draft, shows me picking Lulu. We had an Ornn on our team, so I bought a locket and it got upgraded. Anyway, 22 minutes in, I'm 0-4-5. We have 22 kills, so there's 16. "28 minutes in, I'm 1-4-10. So it looks like there was a lot of crowd control going on. Anyway, you guys can look at my review of the game towards the end of the highlight if you wish. Let's move on to the next highlight. And that'll be typically how these will go. It'll be the game, and then my thoughts post-game as well included. So basically you get pretty much everything that you need in context for the most part. There might be some exceptions, as I occasionally might be having a conversation with myself, like at the beginning of or maybe with viewers too, at the beginning of the game, but other than that, it all should be there. This is me playing top lane Ornn. I went 4-6-18, 34 minutes in, which is pretty good, I suppose. I was building extra tenacity. I had the tenacity mythic and the shoes.
Target Ash, but I'm pretty sure it did.
This game I actually went on to lose, but I still made some really good plays here and there. As you can see, I just barely survived this and we aced them. But
that was a beautiful ace.
Unfortunately, my team didn't want to win this game. You guys can watch the final review and, of course, me reporting people if you want to watch to the end of the highlight.
Okay, Ben Mordekaiser.
This particular game...
This is probably just magic damage.
Looks like I went Nautilus for some reason. I'm not sure why I picked Nautilus.
But it's on Kai'Sa's passive.
Oh, because... Okay. So we had a Zeri from the previous lobby and then it ended up becoming Kai'Sa.
Or Frozen Heart, something like that.
So this game kind of ended too fast for me to
so we have something against
get a mythic.
Vega.
Not sure if I won or lost. But I'm 1-2-12 and our team is at 8 kills at 20 minutes in, so pretty good chance we win this. No, we lost. So I'm not sure what happened here. Probably we didn't get as many kills as we could have in lane or something like that. This Kai'Sa probably was not aggressive enough.
How long does my shield last for? My shield lasts for 6 seconds. I think I should get Moonstone on him actually.
I was delaying the Moonstone. I don't know if it would have made a difference if I'd just pause this at the scoreboard pull up. So, I think the main problem we have here is this Kaisa only has 2 assists, the Akali has 0, KL has 7, and Vayne has 11. So basically, their team is team working harder. Between me and Jarvan, we managed to get ourselves 3 dragons to the opponent's 2, but it's just not enough to overwhelm the opponent's team working. You can kind of just tell, like, she does not have lifesteal, but she does. Like, our team just doesn't have the sustain that they need. And at this point, with so many kills on the board, it being 29 minutes in, Kassadin didn't finish upgrading his item that's supposed to be healing him. So he also does not have sustain. Did you see that? It was like 351 or something like that when I checked the scoreboard on his bonus mana from his item. Yeah, so I don't know what that's all about. But it needs to say 360 or 860 or something like that. It's supposed to upgrade to its final form. It's very close to upgrading, but it hasn't got there yet. Anyway, he bought a Banshee's Veil, which doesn't really seem all that great. But either way you look at it, he doesn't seem like he got his tier quickly enough to finish upgrading that item. Anyway, so yeah, just really underwhelming item builds by my team for the most part. Cost us that game. Next match, Zerath. This might be another boss. I'm not sure.
Because Triumph does.
Usually, if it says I didn't get a mythic, it's either because we stomped the enemies, or just because I just never had enough gold. For a variety of reasons. Usually, you know, like people just aren't team working, so I can't even finish my quest very quickly and stuff like that. So.
Use a Gale Force.
Anyway, yeah, you can hear me like squeal sometimes when I'm scared or whatever. It's 27 minutes in. We're only up 2 kills on 267. I'm working on a Banshee's Veil and apparently a Rift Maker. But I guess I don't finish it by the game's end. And I did lose. We didn't really have much crowd control. I remember the Rek'Sai was kind of trolling. I don't remember what she was doing wrong, but one of the things had to have been dying too much. Yeah, she probably wasn't getting us enough dragons because she would just kamikaze the enemy or something like that. Anyway. So yeah, for having that many kills, you're definitely dying too much as a jungle. 20 kills as a jungle is absolutely absurd. There's, like, if you get 20 kills, there's no way you should lose. Typically, as a jungle, there's just no freaking way. But she still managed to die 9 times. It's just ridiculous. And it's not because I wasn't around to help, because I was. Anyway, this was me playing a Yuumi for a while. We had a misfortune to help out. There was also a Tryndamere on our team. Yuumi and Tryndamere tends to do pretty good. Anyway, I decided to do something pretty off meta, and I bought an Everfrost. I'd never done it before on Yuumi, and I found out the hard way that you do have to dismount if you want to use the Everfrost. But even still, I managed to win this game, so I need to start, I don't know, maybe buying Everfrost more often. Can salvage some pretty terrible games sometimes. So those are the ending scores. And of course, as usual, I am like chatting up people that stick around at the end. You can go check out the conversation if you want. Alright, and then we've got...
Why is there so much red on my team? 9 out of 10 losses for Dagger Drone.
I'm looking at people's op.gg information. So that's what that reaction is at the beginning of this highlight. So this particular game, I was building very tanky. So it was harder for the enemy to kill me. All the damage that they do to me gets sent back to them, kind of, with Chem Tank. I was playing Lulu, so we bought a Demonic Embrace, and then I was apparently working on the Warmogs. Not sure if I finished it. We ended up winning. Yeah, it looks like I did not finish the Warmogs. The ironic thing is, we had a jungler that did like 2 camps and then, or like a camp and a half. I don't know what they did exactly. We're only level 2 when they left, so yeah. So the opponents were outnumbering us, but we still managed to win. If you're gonna watch that whole replay, go ahead and do that. February 10th Turbo Lulu game. There's a bunch more league highlights, as you can see, in a row. We're just gonna go through all the highlights in order. So if you want to watch a particular game, that's tough. You have to zip around and, take a look at this or something to see what you're looking for. You can go watch it yourself. Anyway, I was playing with an Ezreal as a Lulu. I think we may have lost this game. I'm not sure why I'm highlighting so many of my losses, but
No fucking AFK.
yeah, so we had an Iron 2 ally. I'm not sure who it was. It doesn't really matter that much. You can go check out the highlight if you're wondering who it was. Anyway,
Is there anybody here that's even close to Iron 2? Like, everybody's Bronze 2 or higher, besides Teemo.
yeah, so it was Teemo. Which makes sense. Whatever. Anyway, and then there was a highlight of me just reviewing a whole bunch of replays, because the games of the replays I was reviewing were played off stream.
Is a horribly underrated keystone, in my opinion.
So I had a game of me playing as Lulu against Kaisa. We had a Zeri on our team.
Not gonna lie. The shield does...
I like to pick Lulu with Zeri when possible, because Lulu has a short cooldown on her shield compared to other champions, and I want to give her the passive movement speed bonus often if I can. You can also run Summon Airy if you want, whether you do or don't use Lulu. I decided to use Lulu because then that means I can also W her to give her passive movement speed bonus. Of course, she also gives her movement speed based on her W giving her movement speed itself. So it kind of doubles up the movement speed when you cast W on her. Anyways,
So he has a grand total 70 bonus health, I assume?
I didn't really die much that game, so it was, as you could see, it worked out pretty darn well.
Combined with your seer, in order to be able to...
And we have a highlight of me playing as Lux. Through with a vein.
Maybe it'd be more pro if I used it sometimes, but I have 900 smite, I want to wait until, like, enemy jungle's dead.
We're not really stomping anybody, so...
Speed options between 1 times and 2 times speed. I really do. I hate the fact...
So, I'm actually building an enchanter, so 13 minutes in. That's why my ultimate doesn't kill them.
We can already skip around.
But we do take them both down without either of us dying. So I'd say it's worth it going enchanter on Lux. The durability that you're provided with, or anybody who gets hit by your W, is not to be underestimated. Whether you are or aren't building AP.
Somewhat useful against Garen and Vayne. I mean, by panicking. Anyways, what?
And Glacial Augment is better if you're buying healing and shielding power compared to AP, at least for the amount of gold investment that a support is granted.
So he's doing is he's trying.
We also had a game of me playing as Karma.
What he should have done here.
Wait, no, that's not Karma. Who am I?
Kane,
oh, I'm Ornn. I'm on the other side of the map, but for some reason I'm trying to figure out what went wrong at bottom or something like that.
And then that keeps Kane out of the fight because if he tries to enter it, he's going to get stunned too.
For one team or the other. As you can tell, I was doing a lot of analysis and explanations.
Echo's actually kind of fed right now. Actually, I wasn't even sure if it was going to be okay for him, but it was.
Well, our team had 7 kills, so that's got to be good, I guess.
Anyways, so I wasn't sure what to play with Ashe, because I rarely play with Ashe in general.
Oh, and then there's me playing as Xerath. Did I say Gyro instead of Xerath? I have no idea why I would say that.
She's like transformed. She's brighter than she was earlier. What? What happened? I'm very confused. Like I thought I said I liked this Ashe skin, and then now I don't like it anymore because it's way too bright. So she gets healed a bit from her, and then she runs back to the wall for some reason.
For some reason, I'm talking about cosmetics.
I didn't notice that. Anyway, so that was a pretty big mistake on my part, not noticing Morg. I got hit by her Q again, and
so as you can see, there's a lot of me just figuring out what's going on in general in some of these games.
Anyway, yeah, it's becoming a stomp at this point. We barely even get any kills after this, apparently. Let's just go ahead and go to the next game.
So that was the game that we won. So we're on a win streak there, and this next highlight is from another win. Then I start losing again.
She runs to the tower, which puts me in a really horrible 1 versus 3 situation, so I have to burn my flash. But then Ezreal overstays, and then Kane leaves, and now they're both in trouble. I don't have the mobility to catch up to him, so I just let him get away, because there's no point in chasing him at that point. Let's just kill some minions and get some souls. Easy souls.
I could have tried to deny him experience, but then I would have denied myself souls probably, so... I don't know. Plus, it was already so close to the tower anyway. Wouldn't have denied him for very long, I don't think.
Tempo.
I'd rather get souls while the other guy's coming back than to try to deny Ezreal XP. But honestly, I don't know. I'd be willing to try it differently in the future. Anyway, this next game I'm running Senna.
Apparently this first dragon was uneventful.
I'm not sure what happened here, but...
I warded it. They had a control ward. Drengle was no near...
We have a Nocturne.
There's not a whole lot we can really do about it.
They have a Mundo, so we probably had difficulty dealing with Mundo. I know lately it's pretty random whether or not Mundo gets out of control. I apparently bought a Kraken Slayer and a Runeans. I guess because I was trying to apply Grievous Wounds to multiple people or something like that.
But it would be fine.
But I guess we weren't able to stretch the game out long enough for a win.
I just need to be super firm.
So I picked Senna again because we had a Callista. pick.
and just explain.
Well,
to
this
them
person
how
had been
lovely it is,
playing
because
Callista as
seriously, they have no freaking clue
shown to
what
me
it
on
is.
op.gg, so I encouraged her to pick Callista again, but that was a mistake.
Basically, she just runs around the map.
This
And
person was amazingly bad at Callista. I was so shocked.
maybe because he's worried about.
Like, she clearly didn't know how to play her champ, and
or maybe with like Trundle.
she was pretty much costing us the game
There's nothing really happening
constantly.
She does save me there, which
That was her, like, only time she had a good ultimate.
But it's not like I expect.
All the other times, she just, like,
gold for my income items, we could have more wards.
got the timing completely wrong.
I think it matters to her one bit, one way or the other. Logment. So what?
And I guess I'll go look at a Lux game. Another loss, unfortunately.
Yeah, this was the moment. So check this out. This is so weird, right? Like, Jhin is really good at chasing, finishing people off, right? So we have Nasus. Let's pause this real quick. Nasus is 270. One thing I've noticed that happens a lot in Bronze is if you're the top laner and you end up feeding quite a bit, your team like treats you as if you're on the enemy team. So check this out. We have an almost dead Lulu, sub 200 HP, sub 600 HP Nara out of 3000, right? Jin's passive, he deals 20% missing health physical damage on his 4th shot, in addition to critically striking. So Jhin is an executioner. He gets a successful snare on Gnar, and then just runs the other direction to fight Ashe. Like, what the hell? Like, Lulu was almost dead, Gnar was almost dead at that point. As a Jhin, you could finish off Gnar. You could do it better than anybody else could. You're Jhin, it's your 4th shot. And what does he do? He goes for Ashe. Even though Fizz is there. We have full vision on Fizz at this moment, and he just walks into Fizz and just lets himself die to him. The 604 Fizz, he just completely disrespects both Fizz and Nasus, the enemy team and our team. And he lets these two run away, and then they're like, woohoo, let's have a party, kill Dragon to celebrate.
Yeah, so the games have been very hard in Bronze, as you can see. If you give the opponents an inch, they'll take a mile. And the teammates love to give the opponents yards, and yeah. Well, it just gets out of control at that point, really, really fast. Yeah, there's definitely more of that kind of reaction. If you guys think that was interesting. And then so
crafting buying on brand with Even Shroud. And then after Even Shroud, approach velocity.
We've got me.
I'm not sure if that was a great idea or not, but we do have an Amumu, so sometimes I should get bonus movement speed from that.
Playing as Brand.
This is a really odd moment where I just got swarmed by them. I couldn't really dodge or Q because there was no, and there was no escaping.
Oh, we had a Sivir.
Otherwise, I could have.
I will say that I have not won with a Sivir on my team
so I figured
in ages, and I don't think I've lost to a Sivir either in a while. Like, all the Sivers I've been bumping into have just been really bad. So, of course, we lose that game.
Just get his mana back.
Or at least, I'm pretty sure we do.
Actually, not sure when she died.
Brand is a pretty reliable counter to Morgana, but it's hard when you basically have to 4v6 or worse.
The reason I was here was because I was looking. To see if he had.
I don't know what's going on with my replay review exactly.
I think a large part of the reason why we walked all over them is because
no, we won this game.
With Riftmaker, they had an They also had a KO with Riftmaker. Interesting. I feel like they didn't have a carry that was actually able to do their job. I'm not sure why that is.
I guess we just ended it too early for them,
so they weren't picking.
Which is strange because it was 28 minutes. I mean, it was before 30 minutes, so they might have had too many people running Gathering Storm or something like that. This was me building Tank Brand, by the way. I honestly think in this particular game, going Tank Brand was why we won. Because if I had if I died too much, look at this. They actually go for me and try to kill me.
Point is,
and they lose like a whole bunch of stuff, resources trying to kill me here.
I don't know what he's buying, but he should be getting lifesteal. Like, where's a vampire scepter, right? Like, it costs less than a Caulfield's Warhammer, only a little bit more than Cloak of Agility Machine.
Here I come. I'm going down mid lane right now.
Buy a vampiric scepter, but why don't you? Like, I don't get it. Okay, yeah, Sheen does go into Reaver. Okay. So it's just, oh yeah, Sheen used to actually offer mana, and now it doesn't. I remember now. Must have been thinking it as a tier for some
So I'm actually guarding the dragon, so I glacial augment that guy, and then they don't like that, so
like,
they.
So amazing back then.
Like I disengages over there.
I actually like it now too. I feel like I've liked all the versions of it.
Wait, wasn't somebody trying to kill me?
But
oh, I don't know. I guess I'm getting confused.
Very much anymore right now.
This must have been like at the end of the game.
Even though I play lots of Senna, I still don't buy the item all that much, just because it's not like particularly strong for a variety of reasons.
Well, anyway, I escaped with a sliver of HP, which is often going to happen if you build tank.
Frontliners, so they weren't picking up kills.
Anyway, you get one stun off, and then your allies can do more damage, and I think that's kind of cool. It's like press the attack, but it's easier to activate. You don't need lots of attack speed.
You can't actually cast your spells. Okay. So at that point, she was probably.
And the great thing about it is it synergizes really well with Rylai's. Rylai's is amazing on brand.
We'll talk about it. We usually don't go out of my way to just help every single.
So I was playing Teemo this game. I was assigned top. I was up against the Jax. I think I must have done really well this game. I don't remember playing against Jax much as Teemo. I remember stomping him at some point. He's level 3 and I'm 5, so yeah, this is one of those me stomping him games.
Wait, the reason why Jax should never lose against Teemo, like I said earlier, is because he can build AP. But Jax has never built AP.
Yeah, so I've talked about this before, but Jax can gain magic resist during his ultimate by building AP. Plus he's got at least 2 abilities that scale with AP pretty decently. So there's nothing wrong with building AP on him.
Not the easiest thing to get assists ever. Unless I wasn't getting kills for some reason.
Anyway, it looks like the rest of the highlight is mostly me just watching Teemo games.
Well, I didn't blind the Tristana.
It says I'm stoppable, and then I get stopped immediately afterwards. Yeah, that happens. Anyway, let's check out the next highlight. So we were up against a Malphite. I'm assuming this is a loss, because he has a Luden's Echo, so he's not going to get very much work done. So this particular game, I'm pretty sure Kog'Maw was trolling us the whole game. He was probably like getting hit by every single piece of crowd control from the enemy or whatever. Or no. Did they even have crowd control? I mean, maybe not. Oops. I feel like... Yeah, look at this. I only have 4 takedowns, and I have 5 deaths. 18 minutes in, so this is really bad for our team. We're doing terrible. Our Warwick jungle is in a similar situation. He has 8 deaths and only like 4 or 5 takedowns or whatever. I bought a Grievous Wounds. I thought it might help. I've noticed lately, every time I get Grievous Wounds, I end up losing. Okay, so... Oh, right. Yeah, I remember him being able to walk out of comet damage. He wasn't trying to. So that was a thing that was happening. But not only that, so like Malphite would Q him, right? And because he wouldn't move, he would just stand still. Not only would he take damage from Comet, but he'd also take damage from Jin's W for no reason. He just kept getting snared by Jin because he would just stand there. It was really stupid. Anyway, so that's that highlight. But yeah, like, argue with your lane partner and then random people on your team think you're a troll just because you're complaining about your lane partner trolling.
From the Lux room page.
Yeah, that's some logic.
I usually don't.
I'm
gonna take the plant, just be on the safe side.
So this highlight is actually me playing a game, kind of like the last highlight when I was Morgana, but this time I'm Lux.
Yeah, there were some enemies there.
It looks like we were the Jin. Yeah.
Guardian on Morgana. So Morgana doesn't. Guardian doesn't give movement speed anymore. Which is kind of why he's killed.
I don't take Guardian anymore as a keystone. I've tried it every once in a while, but every time I pick it up, it just disappoints me. Anyway, Glacial Augment is great. And if I want more defense, I can just get Aftershock.
Is he AFK? Like, I don't know, man. What? Rek'Sai's sieging me? Oh, jeez, I wasn't expecting that.
So yeah, my team starts going AFK, so there's not really much I could do this game.
With teammates. The second game, it got even worse. And this third game, I don't know. It's not like the Jin was any good.
I was evaluating my games for that day. It was looking really grim at the time. Like the game that I won, I wasn't entirely.
Over the replays.
Maybe I'm not sure what I was counting. I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyway,
I feel like I had like a lot of as Lulu and Lux, lost to Senna. Onto the scene, which puts us.
This is me reviewing replays again.
So it seems like she was.
So I guess I'm skipping ahead a bit too much. Because I'm just watching the replays.
I was shocked that we even won this game.
No. Okay, this is a messed up.
Towards the end.
So what happened here was apparently I accidentally had.
They could have potentially made a comeback, but I guess somebody gave up.
My stream, the microphone was muted or something.
AFK, maybe?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Like everything was muted, probably. Well, whatever. Like I think my computer
But like at a certain point, I was like, yeah, we need to like 2 versus 8
on probably like the video card.
As far as I was concerned,
because the video card was updated.
Zyro was just like getting dragons for free.
Reset a setting or something.
Just like completely incompetent.
Anyway, this particular game, I was Lulu with an Ezreal and a Taric.
But Taric was kind of a disappointment too. I don't remember anything specific that he was doing.
Taric's top.
Of course, at the time I didn't really remember Nico doing that dumb thing.
But I think we did really well this game, maybe, kinda. I mean, we have the same number of kills, 17, almost 18 minutes in.
He did have 2 levels on Mumu.
But considering the fact that we're basically running
done there. Like, he still would have landed done even if we could distance away.
And
not been in many lanes. Let's finish off ourselves.
In our team composition, so we're doing.
And he did sort of condemn himself for that mistake of his.
On gold.
Like, it was also sort of a comment about us feeding him, which was fair, to be honest.
I guess 4 lanes of tower to count Nico.
The charm will make it. I don't think we're responding to it.
I think she's decent as a lane support, to be honest. I wouldn't exactly call her typical.
Thought about it's gonna happen. It's probably gonna happen in bronze.
She does have to get certain enemies if she wants to get like the free summoner spells from them. But oftentimes, whoever she's laning with won't
anyway, either dragon. I think after they lost their inhibitor, they started giving up.
Skeleton enough to
like not doing
or something like that.
She wasn't sitting in the fountain, so I didn't realize she was AFK. So she was actually. I should have reported her. She was AFK.
Yeah, we had an AFK
for a long time. I just didn't notice because she wasn't in the fountain.
Rip.
Turn kill or so.
We've got a replay here somewhere of me playing
her.
Lux, so that's pretty cool. We've got...
Actually, loses for the second dragon, I guess. Because that's not the first time. Right?
So there's this Senna game.
All Warwick has to do is buy armor and then he's fine, right? What if instead of even shot I went...
I always lose when I buy that stuff.
Maybe. We take off a lot of his armor.
Anyway, I was going with Eclipse.
I normally don't buy it on her.
I think it's worked on
actually been the
Senna before. First time I bought it, but that particular game, it wasn't working out that great.
I don't know why.
I don't think it was
anyway,
my fault,
I don't know why.
I think my team was
anyway,
Anyway. Most of the time when I lose, I don't really consider it my fault, even. Like, I don't even think I get 10% of the blame.
This particular game,
most of the games in bronze,
we didn't have a very good Rammus.
If I get to silver, I might have something else to say about that, but for now, that's just kind of the way it is.
I don't even know how we won this game. I don't even remember
this
game
particular
very well.
game. I'm Nautilus,
I guess,
and we've got Samira.
I don't know. I feel like the enemy was like dogpiling on me, and
I think she asked for me to pick Nautilus.
Oh, so I did go Firecloak this game because of Fiddlesticks.
Some other champ
that worked out pretty good.
Something. I'm not sure who she said, but yeah. So I grabbed. Maybe she said Blitzcrank. I don't know. Anyway, as you can see, the enemy had Blitzcrank.
If we peek ahead, we do pick up a kill on Blitzcrank, so we can see how that happens.
I do like Nautilus just fine. I also figured if we could buy the enemy Kaisen.
I walk past the enemy minions and then go for a hook on one of them.
Not sure if we knew that she was going to get picked or not at the time.
So I try to take
her being picked, but you guys can.
But I mean, like for team fights, you kind of don't want to be on the same person all the time.
I can't really see the live footage.
But I guess it doesn't do that.
Anyway, unfortunately, this replay review is muted.
Actually, like, she could have put her E down here to slow me and Lucian down. And then she triggered on Lucian.
That's pretty embarrassing that
Lucian's
on the whole replay review stream, and I didn't know that nobody could hear anything.
Next 3 games.
Unless my computer's just glitching out.
So this game, my score was actually pretty good.
I mean, I can.
Why did we lose? I remember having a useless rise. Archistonic, I never really did anything, I guess. Oops. I suppose our Ezreal couldn't have been a decent player. And I don't remember any good Hecarim players lately. Like, I haven't even seen any good Hecarim opponents. Seems like he's always on my team, though. Or lose. Usually lose.
Okay, my computer is actually just glitching out right now.
We give him a strong lead.
I've been doing this a lot lately, it seems like.
Oh, I remember now, like, Ezreal was, like, beating Vex a lot. He'd go up on his own and...
Yeah, I don't know. I could hear everything before just fine. That was my audio mixer. Apparently you guys can hear the
she can get pretty aggressive.
Replay review. Just I can't. Well, that sucks. Just like I don't know, I can't really control like I don't know what I'm saying in these replay reviews. Anyways, like I don't know whether I should be talking over myself or not and stuff. This is awkward. Anyway, then we have a brand game.
I haven't really played against them all too many times. The main thing I know is you just kind of kill all the minions like instantly. There's some way I can stop that from happening. Great. So I accidentally attacked them while that increases skill damage a little bit here, which was an embarrassing mistake on my part.
Unplug it and plug it back in, but it's kind of...
Anyway, okay, I actually want to see something real quick here. So let's take a look at movement speed. So he actually has 21 movement speed, so he can run me down. For some reason he has 365. Like, where did he get the extra movement speed? I guess it's from using that potion. So he gave me another 15 movement speed from using the potion. Now I get to 363 with my W. Interesting. I guess if I bought the potions
So for some reason it says
So for example,
some of these things use default app volume.
well, I guess we've seen enough in the screenplay.
It's supposed to say Scepter.
We don't have Ignite. We know it's not. We know I got carried. Alright, so the next game I got stuck playing.
Wonder if that will
and
fix
then I played
it.
jungle.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to hit the refresh button and see what happens.
Next game I got stuck playing top again, and then I played jungle. Like, oh my goodness, I actually was doing great as jungle. The Karma pick might not have been the best.
Still can't hear anything.
Useful. And I don't have it, so anyway, yeah. I have Flash instead, which is practically useless against Rengar and Jax. It's okay against Yasuo and Lux and Jhin, I suppose, but it's bad against Rengar and Jax. I wouldn't say it's great against Yasuo, but it's fine. Well, you really... Anyway, I might end up like swapping out barriers for Flash and Yasuo just as an experiment, or I don't know, maybe I'll get it
weird.
Or something. Actually, not sure how to do the Teemo versus Yasuo match.
Anyway, this just got awkward.
One versus one lane top. But let's slow this down a bit.
Anyway, yeah, there's a big old highlight in here. This particular game, I guess I'm playing Orange Jungle. I'd probably get flamed and lose.
I suppose
this game I'm playing Lulu.
Mismited it. That's why I accidentally got it.
I would imagine. When I play Lulu, I don't
have much
win all the time. Get a lot of people that just like on towards
that's
enchanting.
Right bottom there.
That makes it hard.
Maybe I was trying to give the opponents a false sense of confidence. Protecting the Mara.
Or maybe not even hard, but impossible.
I mean, if you're just a bunch of like assassins and stuff, then...
Well, the more of them there are, the more impossible it gets, I guess. Anyway.
I don't know why.
Probably at the end of the highlight.
Anyway.
So, one more League of Legends highlight, and then we're on to Final Fantasy VII Remake. 3 highlights.
We need another 50 LP to get to.
So we had
the champ that
basically just highlighted me losing a whole bunch. So multiple games.
Like, Duskblade is really not that good.
Wait, was this the entire 11 hours? I don't think I was supposed to highlight the entire 11 hours, so maybe it was. No, there's no way this was supposed to be the entire 11 hours. I must have mishighlighted this. Oh well. I guess it doesn't really matter one way or the other. Anyway, maybe I like changed my mind and highlighted individual games or something afterwards. I don't know what was going through my head. Where were we? You know what? This is a past broadcast. Isn't it? Wait, is it? No, it's not. I mean, it looks like one, but it's because I was being an idiot. Anyway, you know, I just realized, actually, wait a minute, I have an idea. So I was searching by highlights videos. We can just search by category as well. There we go. Now we can just continue on with, yeah, let's do this instead. So we'll watch all the League of Legends highlights all at once, and then we'll switch to other games. So we'll do FF7 afterwards. We can hear it now.
I'm not going to play blind pick player. We'll just do a normal draft, I guess.
Was I not able to hear this? Well, I can hear everything now, so I don't know what happened. I think my my chords might be like broken. They only work sometimes. Apparently there was another game with Senna and Callista.
Okay, so neither can.
I'm assuming we stomped this time.
She seems to be going for the HP item.
Yeah, we managed to take down the first tower, so that looks like a stomp. At least we stomped the laning phase. I'm not sure if we won the game or not. We had a Kindred out on our team, so that's pretty good. Kindred's pretty
Yeah, Kindred's R would have been a lot weirder there because
unfair for the opponents. Kindred's one of my top bans at the moment. But if I notice on op.gg, my ally is going to pick them.
Okay, so
I don't have to ban them. Yeah, our Callista went AFK. That's what happened. She was doing great.
She's crawling around on my glasses. I guess I better clean them. They'll stop getting on this much.
Yeah. Let's see here. Where were we? But yeah, we dominated our lane hard enough that we were able to finish them off without too much trouble, despite being down a player. This was me actually winning the game with Glask. I didn't really do amazing, but I did get an S- for what it's worth. I was leveling up my E first, as you could see here. The poke and extra defense for myself. I'm not sure what happened there. You guys can go check it out if you want. Slow it down.
Alright, I need to get an item.
It might have been one of those situations where I might have needed to explain to my ally how my W works or something. Or it could have been a later game that I ended up doing that, or maybe both. Anyway, kind of looked like I'd already used my W though, so that might not have been one of those situations. Probably just got hit by a Jinx ulti or something. Not sure whether or not I was paying attention or what, but it probably, like, I tried to dodge it and then, like, somehow I didn't. It's probably what happened. I probably said something like, dude, it didn't even touch me. But anyway, which might have been true, I don't know. Maybe it detonated on something else. Actually, maybe I should go check it out real quick. When did that happen?
Or way to help make it up to this Kindred.
Slow this down. Oh no, it was a Gen. What am I saying? Okay, I just...
What? I thought that would work.
What was happening here? Oh, I didn't have mana for my W. That's what went wrong. It's too low on mana. At least I assume that's what went through my head, is I would use W to save myself.
What?
I don't know. I guess I got bursted down pretty hard in any case. But I thought there was a different death. I'm getting really confused here. Yeah, it was a different death, actually, that I want to look at. But we have a Jinx on our team. Did they even attack each other? Like, what? Let's see. So Shen uses his ultimate which ironically makes it so I can't use my W to revive. But we might not have gotten the kill because Jinx was retreating anyway. So maybe it was fine. It's really interesting interaction. If Shen wanted to come here, but maybe it would have been better if he jumped on Jinx. Like the person that I didn't cast W on in any case. But it's too late to change now. Once he's done it, he can't change his mind. If he notices, oh, whoops, that person has her W on him. Can't. Once he's clicked on him, that's it. You're going to that target. Anyway, you're giving that target your shield, etc. Let's put it back to 1.25% because 1.5 is a little bit too fast. I think we're missing a lot of interesting footage or something. So yeah, it was 1:4:21 by about the end of the game. Okay. I've been getting filled jungle a lot. I decided to start practicing some champs. So I'm playing Gwen. This may or may not have been my first game with Gwen in jungle. I may have already played her in top lane. I don't know. Anyway, the game actually feels a lot slower. Oh, it's because it says it's 0.75. It's not supposed to be 0.75. I don't know how it became that. Anyway, looks like we won this game, most likely. We're in their base. Looks like we're taking dragon. Yeah, so I didn't really get that many kills, but I was playing pretty safe and getting us those dragons. So I think I did fine. But this game was kind of easy because Kha'Zix was sort of like scared of me the whole game. So not really a great indicator of how good I am as a jungler for sure. Because I'm pretty bad. And we have me playing as Nami, it looks like. I never really buy Ludens on Lux. But we have a Ziggs. I actually realized that this lane composition of Nami with a mage is actually really good. Because he can like just heal the mage up. Obviously, Sen with the mage is pretty good too, because now if you upgrade tanks, you can like kick their butt with both types of damage, but
I want to go help him demolish that tower, but I have to buy
anyway, the fact of the matter is a lot of mages struggle with sustain because they're typically not going to buy a Doran's Blade for the Omni Vamp because it doesn't give them any AP. So they have to wait until they get a Leeching Leer, or if they're not even getting Riftmaker, then they won't even have access to Omni Vamp at all. So giving them an allied champion in lane that can heal them is pretty helpful for them, since they don't have much in the way of items for sustain. You might as well give them an allied champion for sustain. So the game worked out really well. We have 24 kills to their 8. 28 minutes in, so I think you know where this is headed. You can go check out the highlight if you're a little bit unsure. So this was an interesting situation. So what ended up happening here was Diana wanted her champ. She didn't want to be last pick, I guess. So she suggested picking my champ. And I was open to settling for whatever she thought was good, / whatever she had available as a marksman. So I'm like, I need more practice anyways with various marksmen. So she had Vayne, and they had a Mundo. So I was like, okay, let's try that, Vayne versus Mundo. But I haven't played Vayne in like years, so I wasn't really doing that great with her. Also, never really put that much time into her when I did play her. I didn't own her until like last year or something. I didn't really play her at all last year, so.
Anti-ward item, I guess, instead. It might be worth buying.
So I went ahead and got a Blade of the Ruined King, which was pretty helpful. But now I think in the future what I might end up doing if I'm up against a Mundo is I might just get a Kraken Slayer. Even though theoretically we don't really need it in general on her, I might get it anyway. Just because it's like even more true damage. But yeah, I wanted to get a Rage Blade, but the problem was the Rage Blade didn't provide me enough stats that I wanted. Like, it like doesn't like provide me additional lifesteal, for example. What I did end up buying was eventually I bought one of those things that reduces my ultimate's cooldown, which honestly I think it was a pretty good purchase. It made it so I could ulti more often. I mean, I kind of needed that invisibility from using my ultimate. I struggled. I made a ton of mistakes this game in general. And I think if I hadn't been making so many mistakes,
Get an HP item.
then I don't know. I guess we would have won faster. But as it was, the team was kind of hard to play with. If I remember right, we didn't have a very useful Blitzcrank. Seemed to be letting the enemies push against us a lot. I don't know what he was doing exactly, but probably figure out by looking at post-game chat if there's any.
What control AF?
Do I report him, or am I just tempted to do so?
Rune page. Actually, should I? I mean, can you really report him for just picking a terrible champ?
Oh, I guess he didn't really
Rune page.
troll super hard.
It's not like the report function even does anything anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, we actually had a Darius carrying us. Well, he was kind of a kill stealer, but that's fine, I guess, because of how his ultimate works or something, maybe, or I don't know. He's got a lot of Gax from Dota 2. I'm just not sure how much like him he is. It's not like it really matters all that much. Oh, maybe we should look it up real quick just to make sure that we know exactly what's going on with his ulti. So Darius, Noxian, Guillotine. He attempts to execute them. If the target dies after being hit, flee from him. They're slowed. He can recast within 20 seconds at no cost, which refreshes on further executions. At rank 3, it has no mana cost. And recast timer. Wait, what? Oh, I see. So basically, if Darius reaches level 16, what it's saying here is if he always gets a kill with his ultimate, then it basically doesn't have a cooldown anymore. It also has a 0 mana cost at level 16, as if that's not enough. It actually costs 100 at levels 1 and 2, which doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense. So it really makes his level 16 power spike level. Once you get that 3rd point in your ultimate, then you become a completely different champ, apparently. That is, without a doubt, significantly stronger than Axe's ultimate from Dota 2, just based on that. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty amazing. You know what? That's his level 16 is so darn strong. I might be tempted to try him self-top lane. Yeah, might not be a bad idea. I don't know how long it would take me to get any good at him, but anyway, let's not worry too much about that. Where were we? Being a noob with Vayne, getting carried by Darius. So the next highlight is noob Mordecai goes into the jungle.
Why do I have to be first pick jungle? 9 seconds cooldown.
So I was actually choosing to pick Phil, I think, at this point, probably. I'm not sure, but either that or maybe this game went well enough for me to want to just pick Phil. But yeah, like, anyway, I've been playing jungle a lot lately. Not sure how I feel about it. I got some mixed feelings, blah, 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 but...
#worth. Alright,
this particular game, actually, M530, 17 minutes in.
What is she doing all by herself? Yeah, pick someone.
I actually complimented this Blitzcrank after the game. Said he was the first support I've had since I started filming, I think, yeah. So I chose to play Morty. Jungle, essentially. Well, I chose to play jungle. I just wasn't excited about being first pick, honestly. So I was just like, let me try picking Mordekaiser. I don't know. Sometimes when I get play jungle, I get more emotional than I should. But whatever. Anyway, so this particular game, I actually did a lot of good plays. I saved this replay because I think my performance is pretty good. I want to just sort of show off that this item pool is actually pretty decent. I got a lot of work done considering the fact that my entire team was trolling me, it seemed like. And I still managed a 686 score. Like, I was fighting 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4, pretty much the entire game. And I still managed that kind of score. Obviously, it would have been nice if I'd won. But to have the second highest income on my team, that's not bad, not bad. Anyway, then there's this game, which is another loss. This particular game, I was going Morgana jungle. Things were going fine, but the main problem that we had was Camille kept trolling really hard. But we had some other problems too. But that was, I would say, the main one that cost us the game was that Camille just kept running it down. She kept going after people that she can't handle. She actually got a kill on Senna here, so that was a decent play. But she was just indiscriminately charging at the enemy. Didn't really care if it was an intelligent player or not. She was just like rolling the dice instead of trying to analyze literally anything. And Nasus got overfed because of that. And eventually Nasus just walked to our Nexus and push the I win button. I actually recalled with lots of time to stop him, but I guess I didn't have enough damage in my kit. I guess I was playing a little too safe. I did buy a Leandri's for damage. I bought that specifically because I was worried about Nasus. But the other items I got certainly didn't add to the damage. My boots, for example, could have been penetration boots. I didn't necessarily need to get grievous wounds. It's not like he's going to lifesteal if he's attacking a building, after all. But anyway, yeah, so whatever. There was actually not just me, but there was one other person attacking the Nasus at the end too, and it still wasn't enough. That's how fed he was. So I get back in time, but yeah, we're just not doing enough damage. I don't know, he probably didn't have his ultimate ready or something like that. Anyway, so this next highlight was me winning with Kayn, but I was using first strike, and I was sad because I suck at using Kayn with first strike. I think it's because I put too many points into my W. So I might play some more first strike Kayn in the future and try to max Q first. So I think what you want to do is you want to W into an immediate Q. So that way you can get extra damage. You want both instances of Q damage to hit on the enemy. Is the ideal situation. W, walk close enough to them, and then Q. That's the strat, I think, for first strike power. Then you ult immediately afterwards. Then you maybe Q again if you can. If you still have time to do it. Anyway, another thing you want to do maybe is buy Man at Moon. So I was buying that this game. That's one of the things I was doing correctly. And it's funny, I actually missed my W there. So if I had been leveling up my Q, then I would have killed her faster, and then we might have been able to kill them both. So yeah, I've got to kind of quite the learning curve for me trying to figure out how first strike Kayn works when I'm playing support most of the time. It's not that easy to grind out the experience and figure things out. Maybe I should be watching other people play it, but it's kind of fun to just try to use my brain and figure it out for myself.
I wonder if I should just strikes.
So this particular game, I did not do well, but we still won, even though I was Gwen jungle. Because apparently me leaving Kale alone in top lane helped out tremendously. And presumably, we may have secured at least one dragon, I guess. Probably due to my diligence. I don't know. This is not exactly a replay review, so you can't just glance at the timeline to see which team took dragons. But, let's see here. Oh yeah, I was playing against a Tryndamere, and at first I was doing kind of okay against him. But once he hit level 6, I wasn't really able to do enough against him anymore.
Triggermere is just exceedingly annoying. If I was actually not tilted beyond belief, I would actually be buying a Riftmaker first, and I could actually have some sustain against him. But yeah.
I'm not sure if that's true or not. I mean, yeah, I would have sustain against him, but would it be enough to beat him? Maybe, maybe not. But it is somewhat likely, I would say. The main reason why I was getting the Nashers first was because I had lethal tempo. But maybe what I should have been doing is just go Dark Harvest against Tryndamere, and then buying the Mythic first would actually make sense in that case. So they're actually in our base 20 minutes in. So one wouldn't be too mistaken for assuming that we lose, because we are behind in kills massively, 13 to 25. But we score a takedown on somebody, and as you can see, Kale is still a threat to the enemy. They're scared of her, so they back off.
So she only heals if she's attacking champs. That's the thing. And she only heals off of her 1,000 cuts. So
I'm analyzing my champion.
you can do 1,000 cuts is either by literally right-clicking people, which is easier than it sounds like it is. Or by jeez. This will push back the wave. I guess I'm the top laner now.
I was interrupting my sentences because I had to think about playing the game.
By hitting people with the center of you, which is definitely hard to do.
Yeah, so hitting people with the center of your Q can heal you, which is pretty cool. And I think maybe also hitting them with your ultimate heals you. Not sure. Maybe. Anyway, a lot of the time you're full HP when you do that anyway, so the heal might be wasted. But whatever.
Not sure if we try to end this.
But yeah, even though I was feeding the Tryndamere, I wasn't like losing my cool or whatever. I was just like continuing to try my best to do my job on the team. Also, I think like my relative untouchability with turning on my shield as we were sieging was somewhat helpful in any case. So just taking advantage of the innate abilities that you have that may be able to deal with the enemy despite you being behind in items and levels or whatever.
Mostly ineffective ganks.
Something that you can take pride in, I would say, as because I mean you picked that champion, so own it, right? Like take advantage of what makes them unique and win with it. Take the win, as Yasuo says. So here's a game of me playing a Moo jungle.
Yeah, I need to like catch up to make kills and stuff, so I can't.
12 minutes in, I have a couple of assists and one death.
I wanted to, but it just doesn't make sense.
And I'm working on some sort of bomby sender item. End up going for a turbo chem tank. Probably because I know the enemies are going to do a lot of damage to me and I wish to deal the damage back to them. I think I might lose this game because I feel like I remember losing a Chemtech Amumu game. Well, I remember Lee Sin giving me a lot of trouble too. So this might have been a close match. Because I remember getting a lot of work done, actually. This could have been a win too. It could have gone either way. I think I remember this Senna and Glass were both pretty awful. I want to say we probably lose just because we have a Glass. Okay, that's what's going to show up in the post-game analysis. Is I'm going to look at Glask's shielding, and it's going to be really low. So she bought a moonstone.
Is E people at a really long distance. E people that I'm jumping on.
Now here's the thing. Like, her items are fine. I wouldn't call them spectacular, but there's nothing wrong with them. In fact, I think Mikhail's is one of her best items, and Summon Aerie is probably her best keystone. So her build is fine. It's just her gameplay that's just infuriating. Because, like, it shouldn't be possible for her to heal us more than she shields us. You get what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing. Like, if you're just throwing your slow at the enemy, that's fine, right? Like, you're getting damage done, you're shielding yourself, so you're protecting yourself, and if you have any allies that are next to the enemy, they'll get shielded also. But she wasn't even doing that. Because if she had been, then I would have been gotten shielded a lot more. I'm a melee champ jumping on the enemy. She could try to slow them, because it's not like I have glacial augment, right? So it's not like you'd be wasting your slow. But she doesn't do it. And not only am I jumping on the enemy, we have an Ugly jumping on the enemy too that wouldn't mind getting a shield as well. It might be a little bit harder to hit her with the shield, but it's not actually. I think it can still hit them if it's on the way to them. It's just not necessarily the easiest thing to hit. But I'm not too sure. Maybe like the range might be a little bit wider for them at the final destination to hit them. But because I've seen it hit sometimes when I thought it shouldn't. But anyway. And then there's also Alawi, who moves a lot slower than both of us. She's definitely going to be much easier to hit with the shield in any case. I mean, not only are we melee, but the enemy have two melees as well, at least, yeah. So the melee going to be fighting the melee. It's going to be really easy to hit them both. Yeah, look at that. So she actually shielded for 900. So it says 1200 there, because if you look at her rune, it says that she shielded for 300 with her rune, the Summon Aerie, I mean. So yeah, the Summon Aerie doesn't add to the healing, but it does add to the shielding. So she healed us for over 2,000, and that was all Moonstone. And she couldn't even shield that. Like, the numbers are just crazy. Like, with this build, she should have healed us for probably at least 10k, I want to say. At the bare minimum, like 5, 6k, 7k, somewhere around there. Like, it would not have been weird if she healed us for 15k. But instead, she healed us for 900. Like, come on. Like, she wasn't trying to win. She wasn't trying to keep her tank Amumu alive, because he's buying resistances, gets a lot of value out of all your shielding that you could possibly throw on him. So she was just following her lane partner around, basically, it seems like, for the most part, instead of actually trying to help the whole team. Anyway, we have me playing as Lucian. I actually have played Lucian, I want to say maybe like 3 times recently in the past couple of weeks, or in the past week or so. And the first time I played him, I tried to press the attack, and then I played him again with lethal tempo twice. And the second time I played with lethal tempo, I really got kind of like a better groove going, I guess, maybe theoretically, because I went to different items. I'm not sure if Eclipse is actually much worse than Kraken Slayer. It might be, but well, what makes Kraken Slayer so good is there's no cooldown, right? So I think I may continue to buy Kraken Slayer on Lucian and not Eclipse. Because, he can chase people, he's got really good chase potential. So I really think I popped off big when I bought Kraken Slayer on him. I'm going to continue to buy it on him because I think it's super amazing. In fact, I started buying Kraken Slayer on Jhin rather than other things like Immortal Shield Bow or Eclipse, for example. And I liked it a lot. It hadn't been the first time I bought it on him either, but it was the first time where I didn't get harassed for buying it on Jhin. I think usually I would get harassed for buying it on Jhin, but I think the reason I wasn't harassed for it this time was because we had a roaming rumble, and the roaming rumble was apparently open-minded about my item build, so he didn't flame me, so nobody else did either, I guess. Um, yeah, the roaming rumble was actually assigned to be my lane support, but he didn't really actually support me in lane. In fact, he actually bought a jungle item, I believe, so he couldn't even get us wards. But it wasn't the worst thing ever, because like I still have my Jhin traps that I can use as wards, and I was also able to buy Umbral Glaive, and chose to do so, so that at the very least, since we have a certain lack of wards, we can give the enemy a certain lack of wards at the same time. So, to sort of, balance that out. And lethality does pretty well on Jhin for the most part. The only ability he has that even does magic damage are his traps. And they're not really reliable for dealing damage. I would say Shaco's traps are more reliable for dealing damage than Jin's. If you can get Jin's damage, the traps that do damage though, they really get crazy. Especially because it's possible to stack them for extra damage, but anyway. At this point I basically have like no items. But later that changes. So I get a Vampiric Scepter. Oh, so this is an Eclipse game. Okay. So well, I think I probably had a lot of complaints about this Lux. I'm not sure if we might have actually won this game though. Despite her having some issues. But even though we might have won, I wouldn't say that we stomped them. Like I feel like maybe we kind of did when I went Kraken Slayer, or at least I felt personally like my performance was really high on the second Lethal Tempo game. Anyway, this was the first Lethal Tempo game. So this is the second time I played him recently. I definitely played him like last year, for example, but like, yeah, I didn't play him like I think that was just when I was like goofing off, like not even playing ranked or something. But anyway, it could have been the year before. It's a little bit fuzzy because I spent so much time playing so much like Mario Maker and Levelhead that I hadn't really had time for League of Legends until I've been committed this season to rank up. But right now, I'm not ranking up at all. They reset my rank down to Iron 1 because of the new season, and well, last season it took me like 200 games to get through Bronze, but that wasn't at the beginning of the season, that was much later. And so now that I'm at the beginning of the season, I'm finding it's actually taking a lot more than 200 games to get through Bronze. So it's probably been 500 or 600 games, and I'm still not through yet. So I actually made it to Bronze 1, I think, maybe, or at least got close to it. But I'm like in Bronze 3 now, probably, or maybe Bronze 2. So yeah, there's definitely been a real struggle to get through the ranks this season. Um, But I'll figure out the way. And in the meantime, I'm just going to be practicing some champs and trying to learn. I feel like as long as I'm like trying to learn and get better, then it'll just be, at some point, it'll be a lot easier to climb. That was wasteful of me to use my ultimate there. I should have just let Lux finish her off. That was really sloppy of me. Anyway, we did end up winning. I died a lot though. But yeah, this Lux was just pretty incredible. She actually landed so many Qs. I think she may have been an East Coast player. Her ping must have been really good compared to mine. I get like around 70 ping. It's usually a little bit under that, but it's on the high side of the 60s. So, and sometimes it does jump up to like 70. But it generally doesn't go past 70 much, if at all. So it's usually like around 66 or so, 69 or whatever. Anyway, I do think the number 66 is pretty cool, but I do wish I had a ping that was more like 36, but oh well. Anyway, next highlight we have me playing as Jax. This game was definitely a struggle. I'm not sure if I should have even queued it right away, but if I didn't, then I would have to queue later. That would put me in tower attack range probably, so it's probably not that great. Anyway, I got a lot to learn about playing this Jax. So this was interesting. I think we were supposed to have 3 people down here, but we didn't. For some reason the other person like wasn't here. I can't really explain it. This was Lux. That was at Misfortune. I can't tell the difference sometimes. There's so many effects on them. Ooh, wait, the other person was Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank wasn't here. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Blitzcrank was trolling me pretty much the entire game. I don't know what his problem was. Maybe he thought I was supposed to be taking Dark Harvest or something, or I don't know what his problem was. Maybe he didn't like my summer spells. Didn't I just go Flash and I don't know what his problem was. This might. But anyway, yeah, at one point, like, he does this thing where, like, I think I have to, like, steal the Drake, kind of, or not steal it, or I'm sneaking it. I'm trying to, like, get it really fast, or if possible. And, okay, this might be the play. So here I come. So Blitzcrank's right here. He's by the dragon pit, seemingly indicating that he wants to do something about the dragon. He doesn't ward it, though, so I have to ward it. Oh, and then he puts a ward in after I've already warded it. Like, that's not helpful at all. And then he, I leave the plant up, which means I jumped over onto my ward, and there's nothing for me to jump over on the other side, but he puts a ward down inside the pit instead of outside of the pit, so I can't jump on the ward. And he doesn't stand by the wall so that I'd be able to jump on him after I finish off the dragon. To my credit, I do finish off the dragon, even as I'm actually, I want to show you. I think they were trying to take it themselves. They probably figured I might turn on my ultimate, and so yeah, they were poking me and weren't doing much damage. So then they redirected their attention to the dragon. But so you look at because I have my ultimate and it's still on. Like, I'm perfectly healthy right now, but the blitz just took off, and he could have just stood by the wall, and I would have been able to be completely like fine, like 80% HP, and because like I say, like I think he didn't like the fact that I built a single AP item maybe, but he was trolling before I bought an AP item, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, see, I don't know what his problem was really. Yeah, I went ahead and bought a Steerax. I'm not sure if I actually even finished my Mythic or not. You would think I would buy it after the Steerax, but we might have won the game at that point. Seems like our Lysandra was pretty good. I think I've seen a lot of decent Lysandra players lately, which is nice to see. So yeah, we won, but I didn't finish upgrading my Mythic. I think I had the gold for it, but it was just easier just to finish off the enemy. It was weird. I actually died a lot, and most of my deaths were thanks to the Blitzcrank or somebody else trolling me, and it was mostly Blitzcrank that was like the main bully, I would say. Anyway, but yeah, we got a lot of dragons thanks to my efforts, as well as I had Gathering Storm, so my early game was a little bit weak because I didn't have like an early game rune. I had a later game rune, Gathering Storm, and yet we still managed to win it pretty early. So definitely, if it had gone late, we still would have won, assuming that my team wasn't trolling at least, anyways. Like in other words, if the enemy brought like if the enemies like made some good plays or bought some good items or whatever, then I think I still would have won. So in this particular game, I'm going Kane and I have Dark Harvest. I'm not sure if I win or lose here. I probably win because I win a lot as Kane compared to other champions, even if I die a lot. Um, because I know how to take the advantages I can get, even if I'm playing from behind. Um, which seems to be literally every game I play as Kane most of the time. It's really, really rare that I'm not playing from behind as Kane, to be honest. It's kind of frustrating that it happens so often that I fall behind, but whatever. Yeah, I'm 168 at this point, and our team is even on both of them, and that's when we win. Um, yeah, I think in general I just make too many mistakes from not having enough experience as jungle. And probably not having as much experience as Kane. Even though Kane is one of my highest mastery champs right now, he's also one of the newest champs, right? Like the reason why other champs are lower mastery is because I already played a lot of them because they're older champs. Like before the champion mastery system was even in place, I was playing a lot of these champs. So like Lux, for example, like I should probably have like 2 or 3 million mastery points on Lux, but I don't because I played a lot of her before the mastery system was even a thing. So anyway, in fact, I would dare say that my Blitzcrank mastery points would probably rival my Kane mastery points. They might even be a little higher if it was retroactive. Um, so we have just 6 more highlights to go. So I guess I don't have a glass ally this time because I actually won. We have like a Pantheon ally. Yeah, it's a Pantheon. I think our Draven was kind of troll, but our Pantheon was pretty good. The Pantheon really helped me get these Dark Harvest stacks, as you can see. Um. Anyway, yeah. So the interesting thing about Dark Harvest is it is going to scale with your AD and your AP, but it also just scales with actually getting the stacks in the first place. And if you're a Mumu, you can get a lot of work done. Managed to steal the dragon with my W, I think. Perhaps. I was wondering if I used stolen with my Q. I don't think it was my Q, but I wasn't 100% sure. Anyway, so yeah, that was a pretty savage steal, I would say. Like that kind of made it impossible for them to come back. I would argue. That put me too far ahead. Being able to steal the dragon and kill her like that, that's just gross. Um, the unfortunate thing about pulling dragon is it can be pretty time consuming to do. Now they did win this fight, it seems like. But then Tryndamere came in and started a fight of his own. I was trying to convince Tryndamere earlier that he should be helping us. And eventually he decided to do so. He picked up some easy kills over by Dragon. And the rest is history. Um, I remember one of my allies was trying to like gang up on Tryndamere. You know, like saying something like you need to help us or whatever. Or whatever, or like stop doing what you're doing, or I'm not sure exactly what they said, but then I told the person, like chill out, like I already told them, you don't need to tell them again. And I wonder if me scolding that person might have helped incentivize Tryndamere that maybe he should help. I'm not sure, but anyway. Um, So we have a game where I was assigned bottom, it looks like, and I decided to pick Varus, which I'm not sure why my Janna was trolling me. I don't know if she didn't like Ghost or what her deal was, but if you watch this, you'll find out she was she wasn't really using her shield on me, but she maxed it out first. Like at level 5, she had 3 points in it. Level 7, she had 4 points in it, and so on. Like she was leveling up her shield over everything else. But she was never really casting it on me. I don't think I'm not sure if she even cast it on me once the entire game. So it was really weird. And then she would roam. She would like fight over wards. Like she would like try to kill people's wards, maybe with a sweep or something, and plant her own wards or whatever. And while she was doing that, with obviously no enemies around, she would cast shield on herself again and again while she's doing all that. Look at this. She's not shielding me right now. There's a lot of times where I have like really lazy and or bad lane partners, and we could say they rarely shield me or they shield me at bad timings or something like that. But this Janna just didn't shield me. It was really toxic of her. And then we come to look at the stats. I don't think she even shielded 600 ally total. I'm not sure who she was shielding besides me, but might have been accidental shielding. Like if she has summon Airy, which no, she doesn't. She has Comet. But I was thinking she did use her ultimate sometimes to heal people. Not sure if it was just intended for herself or not or what, but yeah, look at that. She's not even 600 ally shielding, even though she maxed her shield first. That is just gross. Like, I'm sure with how quickly that game ended, the Lux's shield was like level 1 or 2, and she shielded like 3 times as much or something like that. So, probably a little more than 3 times as much. It's just really dumb. She never casts on her lane partner. Then she puts it on herself for ward wars with no enemies even around. Just gross. Anyways, I've never seen a Janet troll harder than that. There's first for everything. Anyway, 4 more highlights. Brand gets a brave misfortune lane partners. This is me playing as Brand again. So in this particular game, I think we would get ganked, and then like she would actually stick around and fight, which is really surprising. Usually, you would just my lane partner would see the full HP jungle and think, yeah, I can run away from this full HP jungle. Let me just, walk past them and blow a kiss at them and walk towards the tower. It'll be fine. Anyways, as you can see, we picked up a kill or two and may or may not have died ourselves. But that's better than literally just dying for nothing, which is what most of my lane partners in bronze do most of the time. But this misfortune actually had a brain, so that's cool. Also, the Galio is not very experienced with Galio support yet. So although I don't think he was trolling, he definitely had some kinks to work out with this build. So that helped a little bit too. Whereas I have a lot of experience with Brand, and I know what I'm doing for the most part. I do think the comment was actually not ideal, given the fact that I chose to build a tank item such as Frozen Heart against the Kai'Sa, but kind of worked out and went unpunished this game, because what ended up happening was people would choose to dodge the comment even though it wasn't really offering that much extra damage, because I was not building AP whatsoever. I was eventually going to get AP, it just, the game ended too soon for that to actually happen. Actually, I might have bought a small AP item, but and then again, maybe not. Yeah, I was working on, well, I don't know what I was working on. It was probably Eclipse. Yeah, I mean, why do I keep calling it Eclipse? Even Shroud. Even Shroud. Brands don't buy Eclipse, they buy Even Shroud. Anyways, well, I buy Even Shroud at least. But Eclipse is stupid. If you want Omnivamp on Brand, there's Riftmaker, is a pretty good choice. Although there might be better mythics. But if there is a better mythic, then you go Omnivamp in the form of, what's it called? Ravenous Hydra, because that's a non-mythic that has Omnivamp, right? So if you're gonna get a mythic Omnivamp item, it might as well be the one that gives you ability power. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, but yeah, I don't think Brand gets a very good value from Omnivamp anyways, because like his spells are like mostly damage over time, and area of effect. I don't think his Q is area of effect though, for what it's worth. His Q seems to be, I think it gets good value compared to other abilities. Don't quote me on that, but I mean I'm pretty sure it's single target, so it should get full value from Omnivamp at least. So you could like max your Q first and still get decent value while buying Leeching Leer, I guess. That's the theory anyway. Probably holds up just fine. Anyways, so I was playing a game of Senna. So this game I was actually assigned bottom, but I was noticing in op.gg that my ally was being assigned to bottom in 80% of the games. Now, I asked for bottom, so they chose to give this other person what is presumably their secondary. I mean, no. No. She's bought. Wait. I mean, maybe it could be her secondary, but like, if it is, why is she getting bottom 80% of the time? Right. Either way, um, I did think that maybe Nico and Senna could be a good combo, because as a mage, she doesn't really bring her own sustain to the table unless she buys Riftmaker. And as such, I figured it might be good to be able to heal her. Plus, we do like chain snares with our snaring abilities theoretically. So it seemed like a pretty good combination, but I didn't want to play as the ADC as Senna. I prefer to play Senna as support if at all possible. And so since this person has been playing lots of Nico and has been playing 80% bot lane, I offered to switch with her. And thankfully she agreed, and we did fine. We did pretty good. I because I like the extra attack range as a Senna. Um, I actually can get to the point where I can last hit minions as bottom with Senna. I've played her that much. Um, I had a game recently where I think I went something like 11-7-11, which is not really that good of a KDA. But, believe it or not, I was being trolled by my lane partner that game. And anyway, that was me playing bottom Senna. That was a game where I asked my lane partner if they wanted to be APC, but they never said they wanted to, and then they left Fountain. I think I didn't ask them in the lobby though, maybe. Maybe they didn't notice. It actually was a while ago, so I may have forgotten. But it seems like asking in the lobby is a good idea. But in any case, I might have been slow to notice that they were even picking Nivea, blah, blah, blah. I definitely got the wrong rune page. But we still won that game, so it's like whatever. Anyway, we had like a Yone or Yasu or whatever that was doing pretty good too, so that was nice. So I got 15 assists, only 3 deaths. That's not so bad. And I actually went to summon Aerie that game, so the 3 deaths is even more impressive considering that. And I won with the Maw Malmortius, and that's it. Like, we just run really fast. I actually had enough gold to buy something, I'm sure, but anyway. Well, it was a 20-minute game in any case. Got the enemies to rage quit, perhaps. That's what it looks like happened. Anyways, you guys can go review that highlight if you want. Alright, 2 more League of Legends highlights, and then we're moving on to Final Fantasy VII Remake highlights. So in this particular game, I was playing Senna again. This was the game I was just talking about. So I think the main reason why I was able to get away with having taken the wrong runes is because I decided to try out Ghost on her, because I was using it on Varus and it was getting good work done. So I wanted to do something similar with Senna. And actually, I like a Ghost more on Senna than I do on Varus. It feels really good having Ghost on Senna. So I'm going to continue picking that up on her. I'm not sure if I'm going to go Barrier Ghost or Ghost Flash or Ghost something else, but I really like Ghost on her now. I'm a believer in the Ghost Senna strat. Get killed by the enemy Glask. Yeah, I have a lot of deaths this game. But yeah, because I had lethal tempo, I went for a Kraken Slayer. and the Berserker Greaves. Usually I don't go Berserker Greaves on her, but I do think if you're getting Kraken Slayer, it's worth it most of the time to get Greaves. It really depends. But like, if you want the maximum damage, you kind of do want more attack speed in general. So, anyway, if you think you need other boots, then by all means get the other boots. But if you think it's not going to make enough of a difference, then just get Greaves. Like in this game, they have a Lysandra. She could teleport over a wall and snare me. We have a Warwick. He could just ulti me, and it's really hard to run from him. So I don't think Swiftness boots would be all that great in this matchup. Now, would mobility boots be pretty good on her? Probably. But I don't buy mobility boots much. So there's an argument to be made that you could buy mobility boots in this matchup on Senna and it would work out fine. But personally, I'd rather just get Greaves. Anyway, so another thing to keep in mind is if you're dying a lot as a Senna and you're the ADC, not only if you're killing minions, you're getting less missed, but you're also getting less missed because you're not on the map at all. So if you're not on the map at all, you won't be collecting any mist. But as you can see there, I was the only one that died in that fight. So my aggressiveness...
What a hard game that was.
Was definitely worth it. I think I was like complimenting my opponent. Oh yeah, she was Glask, and I was telling her that her slow, her E, the aim on that ability was really good. Like she was hitting us lots of slows. I also said something like she had some good ultimates too. I mostly just say that her ultimate, she had a lot of good ultimates because I mean, like compared to me, it's like I think I'm really bad with her ultimate still. I haven't gotten used to using it all that well. Anyway, but I've only played her like 4 games now. So this was the Gen game that I was talking about earlier.
It's really good on Gen.
So,
I remember playing a Mumu a couple of times recently. I think it might be pretty good.
So I do question the viability of Rumble support. And to my surprise, he wasn't even playing Rumble support. He was actually playing Rumble roaming. So...
Well, if he's picking Rumble, maybe I'll go like Jin or something.
So my thought process was he should have a decent shot at getting the opponents to stay in one place, even if it's just with his ultimate. And so that at that point we could just W somebody, and then if they stay in his ultimate, then that's gonna hurt.
Gen, I lost.
I needed to modify my rune page.
However, I could maybe improve them.
Like, you probably don't need that precision rune, more damage in the enemy's low HP, because your Gen, you do more damage in the low HP anyways. But Dark Harvest seems solid.
Hunter on Dark Gen. I think it might be pretty good. Not sure how quickly it activates, but anyway.
Yeah, I still don't know how quickly Relentless Hunter activates, but maybe we can find out now. Let's go look. Oops. Oh my goodness. see if we can figure this out. I don't see the Relentless Hunter buff on my character. Maybe it's not a buff. Wait, was that it? That was like no time at all. No, that's Kraken Slayer. Wait, what's that? That might be Relentless Hunter, though. I think that's Relentless Hunter, that red thing. That's gross if that's Relentless Hunter's cooldown. That's like nothing. It's honestly, it's no wonder that people are so good at chasing others, even if like they don't have any dragons. If they pick up Relentless Hunter, like the cooldown on that is like almost non-existent. It's gross. Or I mean the delay or whatever it's called.
What the hell?
I got really mad. I probably shouldn't have jumped into the pit in the first place. It was just a bad fight. I want to go see what was going on. So Rumble did throw down his ultimate, but did it even hit anybody? I might not have noticed him throwing it down or something. I don't know. I think he threw it down too early. Like, why is he putting it down there? Look at Vagar's trap. I'm a little surprised at Vagar's trap. I feel like he could have cast it deeper in. I guess he was trying to stun someone specifically. Possibly the Cho'Gath. Yeah, I don't think Vagar's stun was good. And definitely Rumble's ultimate was horrible. I guess when I saw the bad stun and the bad Rumble ultimate, I probably should have chosen not to go in. But
What the hell?
To be honest, I don't think I was paying attention to those things. Like, at all. Like, I did not process that information whatsoever.
I guess I should go Baron. We're gonna be fighting over it.
Maybe if I had gone in earlier, then it might have been easier for them to land some of their stuff. But that's just a theory. It's not unreasonable to suppose that my allies might not have just known how to deal with like casting their abilities inside the dragon pit because they don't have as much experience on it. It's not like they've played any of those champions jungle or whatever, you know what I mean? Anyway. I was kind of wanting to blame her W for me dying there.
Come on.
But it might have been more of like a Blitzcrank crowd control to blame, if anything. But anyway. Or, me just being too squishy. But yeah, I was like, yeah, let me get a Bloodthirster so we can have some extra HP as padding for the future. I don't know if I actually finished the item though. We went on to win pretty quickly, I think, after we got the other buff.
No item, we don't need to rush it.
Oh, I did get a Bloodthirster. Nice. Anyway, 6-5-20, considering I was kind of basically in a solo lane the whole game, Seems like it did pretty good. Yeah, our Chendemir wasn't trolling us, so that made the game a lot easier. Alright, and that's it for that game. So let's look at the FF7 remake stuff. So, first up, finishing up Cloud Story. This was on the 13th. I feel like we might have been able to steal something from that thing. Or to the third ward. So we've got me fighting inside the Shinra building. And then there's this thing with the motorcycle game. Then there's Whispers. And of course there was the Sephiroth fight, which didn't really take me all that long to win. Then we got me starting Yuffie's story, or Yuffie if you prefer. I call her Yuffie, but when I do, it's because I'm thinking of spelling it this way. That's not her actual spelling. Anyway, but it's the only way I can justify calling her Yuffie is if I spell it that way. Anyway, I was pretty excited to realize that she's kind of like Kakashi, or Hatake Kakashi from the Naruto shows, in that like she can use a bunch of different elemental attacks, which is really cool. She reminds me of a lot of cute anime characters. I'm pretty sure the voice actress isn't also used in Shadowverse. Sounds just like some character from Shadowverse. I can't quite remember which one, because I haven't been really playing it regularly in a while. But anyway. I spent some time playing this game, which was loads of fun. The Fort Condor minigame is pretty cool. I like gave myself a little extra challenges because the game what it offered itself wasn't enough. So one of the things I did was a personal challenge I gave to myself was I decided to my when I was battling her, the game crashed, which is weird, so I had to boot it back up and beat her again. Anyway, and so I beat her, and then I started to stream again. That's what I did, because I'd already beaten her, and that's when it crashed. And so, yeah, we just picked up where we left off. Anyway, what was I gonna say? So, right, so I wanted to beat everybody before time ran out. Right, so right now we're like in time runs out, like sudden death situation. And yeah. So beating people without needing the sudden death or even before the time runs out. Because you could like get an advantage and then when time runs out you win. Or time runs out and then you have to get the advantage to win. Like those are a couple of ways to win, but both of those are slow. So what I vowed to do is beat everybody before time runs out. Just complete stomp, which means taking down their headquarters before time runs out, basically. So yeah, I managed to do it. It was pretty cool. But I do have to say, I progressed the story to help myself do it, because you get to unlock some extra stuff by progressing the story. Anyway, there's a story with a dog, which is pretty interesting. I don't think you guys were able to hear the game, perhaps. Oh no, it's because I muted this. Maybe. Like they force you to check out the book. in order to collect the materia. I was listening to a different highlight.
I'm not in the way. I'm over here. Oh. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're just programmed to say that if you get close enough to them, basically.
No, it's not. Lying children.
They're basically okay. So like, the funny thing is, like in Levelhead, for example, I don't know how to explain this to you, but like, you can adjust the eye switch area where it's detecting like where GR18 is, or like where an enemy is, depending on what kind of eye switch it is, or like where the package is, like these kinds of things. Anyway, they had something similar in this game, some sort of eye switch, in the code, right, detecting where I was, but it was misplaced, or they were like too lazy and didn't code it properly, which is why I was like yelling out, "Shut up! I'm not in your way," to the NPC. I think that's kind of an interesting like error that people usually wouldn't notice when they play this game, but I notice it.
So that's
I
actually a schoolyard.
like when there are weird mistakes like that, like it really like is very, very, very noticeable to me. In fact, I remember there was a quest in Lightning Returns where there was like an NPC glitching out, like bumping into a wall or something like that. Just being dumb. And the thing was, one of the quests was saying that there was supposedly a cat soul like inside of a human body, and so that they must be confused or something like that. And so like, and they might not be able to control the body properly or something like that, they said. And so I saw this NPC bumping into a wall. I thought it must be that person, but it wasn't. It was just a glitched NPC. Anyway, I think it's important to get stuff like that correct, because you can really confuse the player sometimes pretty badly for no good reason if you don't have it correct.
At a certain time of the day.
So this particular game,
schoolyard where it isn't recessed, but
I was talking back to the NPC, but you guys couldn't hear it, I guess. Yeah. So this was what I was talking about earlier with the sound card update. Anyway, this highlights mostly me playing Fort Condor, but
the requirement, which is that's what that is.
I'm checking out like equipment and stuff too, and materia. I'm gonna build, and then we go through this story progression here a bit. Fight this thing for the first time.
Of course he isn't. He's a robot.
Anyway, talking back to an NPC that we can't hear. So 3 more highlights of this. Now I've been playing some Final Fantasy VII, a lot of it, since 6 days ago. This highlights from around that day, I would imagine. But so a lot of my time has just been played off stream.
What we'll do is,
because I've already kind of beaten the game, so there's not a whole lot to show people at this point.
honestly, Cloud should be able to just.
But I will stream some more FF7 Remake, I think, when we get to the battle simulators, because I noticed we had people, at least one person, watching when I was doing the battle simulations. So I think people don't want to get spoiled for the story, so they're not watching that stuff. So that's fine. I was actually thinking about doing like a YouTube video of various RPGs and me talking about the story, and maybe I will still do some of that, but for now I've just been procrastinating that whole idea and haven't been working on it. Maybe I'll have to like script something up. Anyways, this was some hard mode. This was one of those streams where I was doing hard mode battling.
I want to replay on that. But anyway, Shoryuken?
I was like being a little bit silly there. So in this particular highlight, pretty much the entire thing was like battle simulators for like 7 hours. It seems like, yeah. Well, maybe not quite 7 hours, but a decent chunk of time at the very least. And then went back to like Yuffie's hard mode story, and we had some really savage encounters. I think what happened was I just beat the game too quickly as Yuffie, so I was too low level when I started it over in hard mode. So these battles were extremely challenging as a result. But I managed to power through them and figure them out eventually. I had to like buy some items and stuff for some of these battles.
It's a pain in the butt. Someone had the wrong materia equipped to synergy.
As you can see, I managed to beat the thing. Anyways, and then we have this other highlight where is it more battle simulation stuff? Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, we went back also to the beginning of the Cloud story on hard mode, and I think this is when we had like a huge drop off of interest. So I decided just to play this off stream from then on. This battle was somewhat difficult as well. I would say the first incredibly savage battle that we experienced in Cloud Story, though. Like, there's some pretty bad ones, but even like the really bad ones are still pretty manageable for the most part. The one that's really, really, really annoying so far was the Hell House. That one was really nasty because he would dump out 3 staggered tomberries repeatedly. Oh, that was horrifying. If you don't kill them like immediately, then they could theoretically one-shot you. Anyway, it was tough. So that's that game. Um, let's remove that filter and then see what's the next game.
Oh, I'm so low.
So the next game is Levelhead. So let's look at some Levelhead highlights. So the last couple of days, I actually didn't take any Levelhead highlights. That's because honestly, there wasn't really that much interesting happening. I was beating some tower trials, sure, but I wasn't speedrunning any of them. And also, like, I was playing training, which people don't really seem to care much about at all. About watching, I guess.
Oh, my wrist. Wrist is killing me.
Anyway, so this first highlight is me speedrunning a tower trial. Um,
Trying to. Oh.
as you can see, I was not having any perfect runs. I was dying quite a bit here and there. But in the end, I managed 4th place on this one. and getting just a little bit over half or 50% over. Actually, I don't know how I'm trying to say that compared to the time trophy time. Anyway, so that was. Oops, I guess I messed up. That was supposed to have been this. Yeah, that's what that was. If I click this, then it'll keep showing what was last selected. Here we go. So the first time I beat this, I guess I was what, rank 10. But see, I was off by like 140 some seconds. So we played again. So there's a tower level. Then there's whatever this is, Flingos. And then there's this stupid level where you have to turn all of the switches on. But it's hard because you can like accidentally hit more than once. So it's pretty tedious trying to get it right. But I figured out the method, of course. And there's this weird level, which somehow I struggled on when I really wasn't expecting to. So my time trophy wasn't anywhere near as good as I would have liked it to have been, but still got 4th place, so not bad. A lot of these tower trials, people just beat to have it done, so people usually don't get too competitive on the tower trial runs. If anything, they might care about 1st place, but if they don't think they can get 1st place, then they usually don't go for it, a lot of these people. Also, like a lot of these people, I think, the ones that go 1st place, they kind of get burned out from this game, like they kind of stop playing the game, seems like. So maybe they don't even make levels. Honestly, I think if you want to get the maximum value out of a game like this, you want to play and make. Don't just do one or the other, do both. I think that's when you get maximum value and enjoyment out of it. Anyway, this is me speedrunning another tower trial, as you can see here. There's quite a variety of levels, and hazards and stuff. This game is actually just so much fun. Anyways, yeah, it looks like I was having some struggles. These paths kind of remind me of snake blocks from Mario Maker, but they're not really the same thing. But it's still pretty clever design. It's like moving platforms. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, I think that was the last level in the tower trial. So we have a level with lots of goo. This one was challenging, to be sure. Some of it's pretty easy, of course, so that helped. This level was pretty silly. Had to kill a bunch of vac rats. So that part right there was the really tricky part that I was struggling with. As you can see on the second time playing through it, it wasn't that bad. Well, then there's this part, which is like a much easier version of a room in Celeste that I haven't been able to get through yet. I struggled a lot on that too, but nowhere near as much as I did on that Celeste level. Also struggled a lot on this part. This part was really, I think I struggled the most. It took me the longest to figure that part out compared to anything else in the level. What it's worth. Yeah, overall, this level is a lot easier than a Celeste level. We got third place. Anyway, next up. You guys can see these dates for yourself. This one's July 7th, coming up from 2019.
Oh, I hate that level. Oh, so annoying. Alright, next.
I'm not sure what was annoying about it, but
So hard.
oh, like I was the cloud block, right, and the invisible block and stuff. Like I kept falling through on the cloud block. I don't know, I think I was just playing like garbage. But anyway, it was pretty challenging. That's for sure. This level was pretty irritating, but it was a lot cuter than the last one. Seems like.
Not stressed out about it. Really? Actually, I'm not. Monster to bail us out.
So it's possible to use that super dupe to get out of there, but it's a lot harder because of the whirly blade there.
Oh,
I
dude.
actually need to go get water. Like I should have already gone and got water, but I'm trying to finish up this video. Anyway, so we've got all this. So the package, we could see it up above, and then it comes down after you defeat an enemy. That's kind of cool. An enemy that has a key. Very interesting design choices. This room was pretty straightforward, but pretty scary. Died on it at least a few times on my first playthrough. This part was pretty hard. It's pretty straightforward though. It's just a little something to get used to. This level I struggled on a lot. But I don't know how much I died on the actual speed run, or didn't die. I guess I didn't die on the speed run on that part. Yeah. Alright, 10 more highlights, looks like.
It's about, yeah, it's about half the time for the time
Is
trophy.
that correct? Apparently it is. Yeah, so the highlights are bouncing around a lot
Oh. Alright, well,
as far as time is concerned, or dates, I guess I should say.
okay. At least I'm not dying a lot.
This level was pretty interesting. There weren't that many gems. Oof.
Alright.
I was basically like trying to like
Obviously, it's possible to
do a
die, but there was no
speedrun
way.
strat that I was kind of messing up a little bit,
I
but
just
it could have
wasn't
been a lot
expecting.
worse.
Yeah.
This level, I'm sure people could do way faster than whatever it was I did. Yeah, I think I like may have died a few times too even.
This is the savage part.
This part was pretty messed up. Like it took me ages to beat this level in the first place.
No! I can do this.
So yeah, the original clear time for the entire tower trial was 23 minutes.
Dang. Me? Not actually want to be a tired child. Okay, we got it.
This level was pretty crazy. It's like a raining blob flesh.
Only one that did that one twice.
But I got first place on this one,
If I did it
which is
again,
pretty
maybe I could
cool.
do better.
So it was
Oh,
worth
that's so good.
it.
Getting number one on the tower trial? That's cool. Okay. I guess we'll have to put that one up on YouTube. Oh, it's so good. How long did we spend doing that?
Wasn't supposed to have clicked on that. Then we have me working on one of my own levels as a highlight. This one I started working on a long time ago. I just haven't finished it yet. I added some gates. I changed some of the decoration. Tried to make it look better.
It's probably not going to be very hard.
Adding some enclosures to fancify some of the appearance of some of these places. Yeah, stuff like that. Anyway, alright, 8 more highlights.
Probably quit the time
Got
trial.
another time trophy highlight.
On anything if we need to for. Yeah, because I wasn't expecting to die, so oh my god.
I like this level a lot. It was cool.
Sure. I'll put it on my to-do list. Because I'm really starting to get frustrated. Actually, no, I have time. We can do it again. We can start it over. Yeah, I guess.
As you can see, it took me 30 minutes to beat that one. I need to be right back.
How fast
I'm gonna
do
have
you
to
think
edit
I'll
this
be able to
footage
do
out
this?
because I'm dying of thirst right now.
There's no way I'm beating Ryu's time, probably. But
Oh, or maybe I won't edit it out. I don't know, it's too much
I found this stuff too.
work.
Actually, not sure how you get those gems now that I think about it. Like, oh, you leave the crate there? No, I can't put the crate anywhere else. Yeah, I don't know. Well, you could leave it at that other spot. Oh, true. Maybe that's just, I don't know. I think I'm not gonna worry about it. Flip the switch. Follow the arrows. Grab the package. Throw it down. Gain access to that room. Oops. thing is. Anyway. Oh no! Found a new way to die. Trying to go too fast and screwing up. I don't need to kill those guys. Doesn't seem to speed anything up either. Alright, here's the hard part. Here's the parts I keep screwing up getting grab checkpoints and dying. Oops. These don't seem entirely synced up. Come on. Why am I so bad? This. Let's do this. That's easier. Silly me. Okay.
Okay. I'm back. I need to mineralize my water and all that. Oh.
Don't really remember this level all that much.
Mm.
Ripcord level, yeah. It has some hard moments for sure.
Anyway, that's that tower trial.
I think I said the third one was the best one. Is that correct? Oops. Here, let me
So those portals actually take you back.
collect gems.
So it kind of forces you to use your power up. It's kind of like a tutorial or showing the player how to use that particular power up, which is interesting.
There's one there. There's only 4 gems in the whole level. There's a package here, which is obviously going to be helpful. The enemies might have gems in them, so I could kill them all. There's a gem.
So this must have been me first trying this particular tower trial for the trophy. Otherwise, I wouldn't need all this footage.
Oops, that was done at the very last level. And we're close to the end. No!
You have to beat this package to the end. So I was being a little too careful at first. Wait a minute. Was I getting confused about something?
Falls down.
Maybe I think I did play this twice, didn't I?
I think I said the third one was the best one. Is that correct?
I guess I didn't know where the gems came from. If I'd said something like, I don't know if the enemies have a gem in them or not. Anyway. Sometimes my memory of a level that I've played is a little bit fuzzy. Makes sense. So for this particular highlight, I was playing on the Switch.
I shouldn't have expected anything else, but... Woohoo!
I've been meaning to start a 480p stream, but I haven't done it.
I'm actually curious. I'm a little confused. You're using secret eyes, right? Looks like you have some sort of like checkered tiles. I feel like this level might have taken a long time to build. I don't know where the battery is.
Like, I'm curious how many secret eyes does he use? Seems like he used a ton. Reminds me of a... So anyway, this was a highlight not of Tower Trial, but of me playing a bunch of bookmarked levels.
Maybe you're supposed to throw it.
So bookmarked levels means viewer levels, as you can see up here in the top left. There's a list.
Very little space to work with.
As well as just stuff that I just have added to my bookmarks.
Wait a minute.
There's some fun levels in here. I think it's a pretty good highlight.
Wasn't a boss fight supposed to start?
It looks like a boss fight room.
Where's my package, bro?
Anyway.
Guess we have to...
Let's check out the next highlight. We got another first place Tower Trial. So got third place, which means there's not that much competition considering I haven't gotten the time trophy yet. Anyway, still a proud moment, I guess you could say. Apparently this was a muted gameplay stream. That sucks, but it happens. Is the entire stream muted? Or maybe my...
Wait a minute, I need gems.
I don't think the game is muted. My headphones are acting up again. One of my cords is...
What? 2 more enemies?
Don't know which cord it is.
What? Bruh.
I want to see if the...
I'm gonna start the tower trial over.
You would think I would hear
actually
sound immediately when I unplug that. But I don't.
I was trying to rush it and it backfired. So it requires you to get 100%.
Is it possible it's a software problem? It might just be a software problem, and it's just making me paranoid about it being a hardware problem when it's not.
No. Oops.
Yeah, sorry
what?
guys.
Oh man.
I am really getting frustrated with my sound issues. I think I need to restart my computer.
Oops.
It should be working just fine. But for some reason it's not. Yep, I'm getting super frustrated right now. Anyway, I struggled on this level, as you can see. That level was really hard.
This one's before. Oh my goodness.
I'm probably the only person that played the Tower Trial twice.
Just so many thingos.
Because I died quite a bit.
Probably could have got that under 3 minutes.
But I managed to do it in under 3.5 minutes, so that's pretty good. Definitely could have done faster. But that's okay.
Maybe we should quit.
Apparently that was a Tower Trial from 2022. Right, because I was playing on the Switch. That's why I was able to get first place. It's like really new. There's like almost nobody having played the Tower Trial yet. So, anyway. Did we already look at all of this or something? I'm not sure. Possibly. Oh yeah, kinda. Anyway, where was I? Let's look at this. So this was 2019. I can hear the game again. Yay! Yep, this is a pretty interesting puzzle. I like it.
Where's the package? Oops. Oh my goodness.
I think adding these cannons at the top of the level was an excellent idea. Makes this boss fights a lot more dynamic.
Oops.
Also, the fact that it zooms out is pretty interesting too. You have more time to see them coming. And then eventually there's more and more cannons activating. This was a really good auto-scroll level, so I gave it a favorite. And then we have this level, which was pretty savage.
We'll have to start the entire level over again? Where's my buddy? Did you see how hard that last one was? Because it wasn't that bad, but anyway, whatever.
Me complaining as usual. Anyway, 2 more highlights of level head. So you can move on to the game.
Dude, that one's too irritating.
And then I play this level.
How is that possibly not close enough? How?
So I got a little confused here because
They give you the sad sound, but they let you continue playing the level? Interesting.
So one thing that was really weird here was when I start this tower trial, it says it's July 16th tower trial, But when I finish the tower trial, it says it's July 17th tower trial. So I guess it's both? That's really weird. Must be some sort of glitch. I don't know which tower trial it is. But, anyway.
Close to.
But it's only 5 levels. Supposedly. I don't know why it's... Why my...
That's hard.
I don't know how my time is 6 minutes, though. Like, it's because I spent too much time on this level. Yeah, it's because I spent too much time. This level took forever.
I don't know. It might be per challenge.
Right. Maybe I had some problems with highlighting. Well, this is 11 minutes then.
I guess that was a bad idea.
3 minutes then on that level.
I think I'm starting to have some sort of like...
4 minutes into the next level.
I wasn't ready! Oh my goodness. The platform here, maybe I should use it. Alright, well...
That was a different tower trial.
Use it. Oh, I definitely should.
Did I quit this one?
Alright, well...
I'm very confused.
Even if it's give up on...
Oh, it must have been a remake. No wonder I was confused so hard.
Alright, well...
Okay, that makes more sense now. Oh my goodness. I still don't understand why it's the 16th and the 17th, but apparently the 13th is in this highlight too.
Invisible. Gotta find... Embarrassing.
Yeah, these little puzzles were driving me crazy. It took me forever to finish these, which really messed up my time. Otherwise, it's a pretty short tower trial. Anyway.
It took me over an hour. Alright, well, I guess we better go back and do it again. I think I played the 4th level before. Might have been like a viewer level or something. Or maybe I just played it from the tower one day when I was playing tower trial stuff. Oh yeah, there's a package we need. We need a package.
So this was a longer tower trial. This level was pretty tedious because you had to keep breaking. This one's fun. I like this one. This one was really clever.
Oh, wrong button. Oops. This is not... Seeing the gems.
This was the one I had played previously.
Them there as a way.
Well, I finished it really fast.
So I'm going to use them. I'm going to guess that...
So I've beaten it 3 times by this point.
Alright.
It was called Unusual Level by Draconic Captain.
Like, it doesn't really upset me, but as I was discussing earlier, I've made a lot of levels that I don't think are tedious, and people call them that anyways. Oof.
Oh yeah, we were talking about how this level was... The idea of taking the crates with you was tedious. But at least it's a way to actually beat the level.
Do something like this.
Since I couldn't do it a different way.
In this level, how am I accidentally doing this? Oh my goodness. There we go. It's not the controller's fault. I'm just too nervous.
Apparently, or I don't know. I'm not sure what happened originally, but it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, I'm doing it by myself. Okay.
So last level, you gotta fight a bunch of back rats.
At least we got the time trophy. That's the important thing. Whew. Third place.
Alright, well that's enough of level head for now. Highlights. There we go. The tag wasn't showing up for me to exit out. So next up will be Teamfight Tactics. Ah, we only have one highlight of that for some reason. This was a first place finish in normal. Not sure why I decided to highlight this in particular. I guess it's just because it was a new season and I thought, why not? Oh, well, I've mostly been playing off stream, so I haven't really had much that I would even be able to highlight. Yeah, I went 9 Chem Tech, which is pretty cool. And that helped me go first place. We ended up beating the Yordle player in top 3. Our Senna was triple starred Chem Tech, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, you can see more of that on the highlight if you want. So next up ought to be Magicat. Actually, we might be able to search more than one category. That might actually work. You can do Super Mario Galaxy along with that. It's going to be up next anyway. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't. It's only going to show Mario Galaxy. Well, fine. Let's show off the Mario Galaxy ones first, then.
It was nonsense.
So I'd already started playing this game a while ago, I guess.
Castles past this wall, true. Beast never lie.
But I probably never highlighted it before this month. And that was way back when I first got 3D All-Stars and
like this power-up is very
I was playing Sunshine and Mario 64. But we're continuing the game.
Honey and heavy. Okay.
It's basically the beginning.
Probably slippery too. He's wearing shoes?
Anyway, so yeah, we're just like doing general stuff like fighting enemies. And there's a lot of fighting in the Galaxy, which I'm actually okay with. It. It's kind of cool. Although this battle was really irritating, but whatever. It reminds me of like Zelda battles a bit. Anyway.
Mario Galaxy now.
Then we have me talking with Rosalina about Power Stars, blah blah blah. Oh, this was probably the earlier highlight actually.
The Starbase. If I try to. Whoa, they're coming out of a machine. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but I'm not sure. Oops. I know you can. I'm assuming it's gonna hurt me. The blue stuff chases you.
So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff happening in this game. There's like a lot of different locations, which is pretty cool. I got to do the ray racing. I was having a lot of like failures, like I kept falling off. But anyway, when I stopped falling off, like I got the prize that I needed. So that's good. And there's this challenge which is pretty interesting.
Mario?
So I practiced getting the 1-up.
Okay.
I also got all the big coins because why not? Anyway, that was a fun level.
I'm not sure if it helps that I had more people chatting. I don't know.
Talking to the toads.
Change.
Collecting the Power Star fragments. Getting on a ship with Magikoopas on it. Fighting a boss Magikoopa.
He just made a shell come out of the mystery block.
Anyway, there were coins in the mystery block when I hit them with my head. In case you're wondering. Alright, so yeah, we had about 3 highlights last year of Magic Hat. So, yeah, you can check that out. See me playing that. Well, I started playing it again this February. I thought the game was really cool, so I started taking highlights of it right away. As opposed to Mario Galaxy, where I had no idea what was going on. Anyway, we have this interesting level with these sunflower things from about a week ago that I played. So you step on that and you get a sunflower power up. So I was learning about that.
That's so wild.
And then there's the boss fight. We have to actually fight a bee.
Oops. Oh, really?
That was pretty tough. There are a lot of really cute levels in this game.
Usual.
It's another one of the boss fights.
Oh. Interesting. That's like a one-way gate.
There's more than just one kind of one-way gate in this game, by the way, which we'll discover later.
I want those potions so I can save my game right before the boss. Oops. Oh, I wasn't ducking. There's spikes down there? Oof.
It also has those collectibles, those red gems.
I need to like jump over them without actually getting hit by the spikes. I don't know how to do that. It's really tough. Oh my goodness.
And of course, eventually beat this guy.
This is gonna take me like an hour to beat this guy.
It didn't take me that long. It only takes me about 20 minutes at the very most to beat every single level in that game. But yeah, sometimes I get really frustrated. Anyway. Usually it's like anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, something like that.
I guess I was on some...
Uh-oh. I can't hear my PC again. Anyway.
I really don't know how I'm getting up there. Get to some of the bosses, which is understandable. Oh no!
This battle was pretty challenging the first time. I think I beat it the second time, perhaps. Anyway, 2 more highlights to go through. Okay. So yeah, there were like these airship levels.
I like the APXY
The
buttons
music
on
was
this,
pretty cool.
controller better.
At one point, I managed to jump on that guy.
That one up. I thought I could jump on that guy, but apparently I was wrong.
Then I realized I shouldn't be trying to jump on him in the first place. It's really hard. I should just shoot him down and then take over his little fence platform thingy. I was also able to jump up there from the fence thingy. I don't know how I managed to do it. Somehow I did it. Sure. Anyway, doesn't really matter that much now. Somebody could rewind it. I'm not gonna do that right now.
And I tried to
show you guys the stuff that was happening. And there's a boss fight. The boss fight was really cool. I think this might be one of my favorite boss fights.
Oh man, I think I'm taking damage too early.
I actually died on it at least twice. I don't know how many times. I don't know. It was quite the challenge, but I got it. I want to say I might have died on it like 10 times, but I don't know. I'm not sure how many.
And I do think that it would be great.
One more highlight, and then there's these places, which look really cool too.
I could dash into him to hurt him? Oh, let's try them.
Boss fight was like really cute. Oops. Wearing those masks.
I'm trying to take care of the minions so we don't spawn too many.
Anyway. And then there's this area. This is a pretty cool level because it's got water in it.
Something pushes buttons for us.
You can actually jump up into the water and swim around, which is really cool. I wish we had water like that in Super Mario Maker 2. You could just jump into it or something like that. Just put the water anywhere you want. I wouldn't necessarily want to put it on a ceiling myself, but still pretty interesting though. I would just like put it up or by like a mountain or something like that. Anyway, do whatever you want with it. You can make pools if you want.
Ah. Ow.
Ah, this boss fight was really cool.
Well, that didn't work the way I planned it.
Alright, and that does it for this game. Anything else? Oh, well, there was Mario Maker. I think Mario Maker's the last one. So we've got 7 highlights for Mario Maker to check out.
Maybe we'll do Yoshi and Cape next.
Got me working on a Yoshi coin grab gauntlet level.
Get alone enough. So you could still put it like somewhere that they're not supposed to be.
And then we've got more stuff like that.
I assume if we just like lowered
we got 2 more highlights of me working on that level, so let's go check them out real quick.
So used to in level head, it's so easy to manipulate the camera. Barrier over here. I guess I'll worry about that later. Replace it with like a hard block. We got the basics done. We can fix the nothing comes out of the pipe. Later. We're gonna be collecting coins door too the whole way through. We do have 2 doors. For now, we gotta move on to a viewer level. And after a viewer level, we'll play a little bit of level head. Stay an hour of level head. And after level head, the plan is to play Magic Cat, which is a platformer where you don't build levels, but it has a boss fight at the end of every level. And then I'll play some Super Mario Galaxy after that. And
doing a bit of doodling and then editing the doodles.
That was pretty cool. So those of you
trying to come up with an idea for Yoshi
7 more hours of gameplay to watch
with platforming, if you choose. Eventually, I settle on putting the coins inside of the hill.
You can go to whichever door you want. I just swore that was tough. So I'm gonna say hard. You can do that, or you could go into the Yoshi door and fall down. People might not want to fall down, because they're gonna be scared, right? So I'm trying to think of if there's
Alright, So there's just 4 more highlights now after those have been shown off.
Well, okay,
in this game.
if you put something in a little bros level.
So this was some level where you needed the boomerang to
That's not
win.
for sure. It's gonna take. Might have a key.
It really didn't take me a whole lot of lives to beat it, because it wasn't truly
It's a 2-screen wide descent.
what I would consider a troll level.
Hello there, Lord Bros. How's it
But
going?
it was just some level that somebody tried to make hard. It may or may not have had some trolling happening in it.
I don't know if there's anything supposed to be looking for. That's the goal.
Pretty easy level,
That wasn't that
to be
bad.
honest. But nobody had cleared it yet, so
It's actually really easy. You spend so much time on that.
you might as well call it garbage.
9.
There was something in there that was like felt especially time wasting that I didn't like. This part felt pretty boring. Having to wait for the lava to go up and down and up and down and
troll
up and
level.
down. Very irritating. But other than that, it was a cool level.
What?
Then there's this level
I
which
didn't do a
took
super jump
me
there. I was trying
quite
to.
a while to beat. I would say probably over an hour. I'm not sure how long. On this particular clip, or highlight, shows me taking about 8 minutes or so. I'm dying a whole bunch. This death counter is not accurate though. So just keep that in mind. It's not accurate for 2 reasons. One, because it keeps triggering whenever I go in particular doors, at least most of the time.
I like getting some first clears.
And 2, because obviously this was not the only time I played the level. I really died in it about like maybe 40 or so times.
We're home free. As long as I don't goof up the
give or take half a
as long as I don't
dozen.
lose this boomerang suit
Two.
somehow. Then
Anyway,
that's fine.
pretty difficult level.
Last time I got this far, I actually
very challenging in a lot of ways.
Believe it or not.
I messed this part up. There we go.
There we go.
I wanted to be very careful this time and get it right.
Bad timing.
Yeah, I have to do a speedrun race with this star. I was trying to get the clouds to line up
Why are the cloud blocks
properly.
in such weird positions right now? This isn't going to work, but at least we can see how far we can get. We need those cloud blocks to be in the perfect
Didn't
position.
quite make it in time. I got close. So I had to try again.
Okay, that works. Okay, now there's one more gauntlet.
And then the ending is pretty easy. There's a whole bunch of enemies, but you have your boomerangs, so they're pretty easy to deal with. And then you get your goal.
Oh. Oh.
Okay, 2 more highlights to go with. Here's another first clear. I don't remember why exactly I booted this one.
Level right now. So, and I'm towards the end of it, so if I don't talk a whole lot, that might be why. I'm trying to focus.
Oh, it's because there was a,
chat as much or as little as you want. A whole lot, that might be why. I'm trying to focus.
There were a couple of reasons, sort of,
Chat as much or as little
that
as you want.
contributed to it. One was I didn't like the punching sound effect. The two was the punching sound effect was associated with red coins, and if you collected all the red coins, you could go into a warp block.
The only reason I'm playing it is because it's 3D world style and it hasn't been cleared. So, if either of those things were not true, then I wouldn't be playing that.
Like, I understand his point of view, but at the same time, like, you could have used some other sound effect.
Like getting some first clears.
The punching sound effect is really annoying. So, I just booted because I thought that was really annoying.
Okay.
I think that's kind of
the main
reason I booted.
As long as I don't goof up
anyway.
as long as I don't goof the boomerang suit somehow, then I should be fine.
Oops. Okay, so
you'll have to excuse me again.
This highlight starts off weird. It's like an entire 6. I must have messed up the attempts to highlight this. This is the red coin hunting level. I'm gonna have to remake this highlight apparently, because it didn't work. But this was the level I was trying to show off. How long did this level take? Wait a minute, this is like the end of the... I messed up the beginning of the highlight? I guess so.
I'm supposed to know where it is. Sorry, Mr.
Wait a minute. No, what is... I can't see properly. This is... I did mess up the highlight, but not as much as I thought I did.
It's like a red coin.
You know what? It's fine. I don't really care. Here's another level.
Don't do that.
This was another first clear, it looks like.
18 seconds.
So,
I don't know.
I humored the maker and tried to go through this route in the second zone. It took me a while.
Why is the ant going the opposite?
Eventually, we get to the top, which was right here.
What? Wait,
I don't know what's up there, but we can't get up there.
Where am I supposed to go? Wait, what? Doesn't make any sense. Let's go to the left? How do I go to the left?
Then I go find the death exit, and it's an invisible ladder.
Heard it. Invisible ladder thing, figure out.
And so I sort of warn the players without actually warning the players, if that makes sense.
Should put the comment inside the level.
Let me beat the clear check time. Anyway, and that's everything. That took me 3 hours. Well, yeah, it was like 2 or 3 weeks of gaming. Tune in next time, if you will.